I never stated it was thrown by you at any person.
Mr. Speaker, you said I allegedly said some bailiffs. Allegedly.
No.
Mr. Speaker, then clarify.
Please.
Mr. Speaker,
listen to me.
Mr. Speaker, listen.
Honorable Majority Leader, I don't want to proceed to make some orders. Please, resume your seat. I'm very serious about that.
Mr. Speaker,
please, resume your seat. Honorable member, your
coming events cast their shadows. We have Parliament now, elect with the executive.
Yenko parliament, yenko edi ekoso parliament. Eya afenyo makinse na afenyo so eya Bagbin edi esi ani wo ho. Edi epan omo di esi ani wo ho. Won se eya akonya bi beto ye omo kire se enipa fu bi. Asise ya ye ka se omo ntimi ma parliament biem according to eya Bagbin betu dwa. Bagbin tini dwam ana eye afenyo makinse so gina se ho. Eno mu mienu di esi ani. Ne nkomo omu di ene se according to eye afenyo makinse kire se Bagbin ntimi nye so wo tumi na wo ye no kasa ma obi anka bi eno mmie ndi si ani wo soro ho nti Bagbin ka na afenyo makinso aka wo boa wo twa ntro asoma aka ye no kure bia ni me nso na wo twa ene parliament wanya asem ketwa ye ni ganko ti asem a ye Bagbin din kan kan ye se nipa fo bi omo ntimi si parliament bie mu no edi ebiem na asi wachire according to ye sa asem no de beto abonten
proceeded to declare the seat vacant. However, I must emphasize that this ruling made by the previous speaker does not bind other speakers, including myself. It is important to point out that in the present matter before the House, the notice of poll is available at the Electoral Commission on all the 275 constituencies. I have duly taken note of the notice of the poll, and furthermore, no member in making comments to the statement made to the House by the minority leader denies these glaring and notorious facts. And so, what is my role in all this? Honorable members, it is important to point out that the Speaker is called upon by the standing orders of Parliament, particularly Order 18, to inform the House of the occurrence of a vacancy of the seat of a member under clause 1B to E, G, and H of Article 97 of the Constitution. Accordingly, I proceed to inform the House that by the notification of the polls, the following members of Parliament have by their actions vacated their seats in Parliament. The members are Honorable Peter Yao Kwache Aka, NDC MP for Amenfi Central in the Western Region, now referred to as an independent parliamentary candidate for the same constituency. 2, Honorable Andrew Amwako Asiama, independent member for Fomna constituency in Ashanti Region, now referred to as MPP parliamentary candidate for the constituency. 3, Honorable Kojo Asante, MPP MP for Suhum in the Eastern Region, now referred to as independent candidate for the same constituency. And finally, Honorable Cynthia Mamile Morrison, MPP MP for Agona West constituency in the Central Region, now referred to as independent candidate for the same constituency. These MPs cannot be allowed by law and my good self to continue to pretend to be representing people that they don't believe in and they don't have any loyalty for in this house any longer. The house is accordingly so informed.
Assembly na Alban Bagbin de beto abonten. Kesa nkofo 90 member. Na ye wo hwa na eja afenyo Markins so ene Alban Bagbin de asi ani na omontime ho ase bi ikoso proceedings ikoso parliament ho ne ye hyemrawo nti ho asam de beto bia wasi nyina etimi ka bi ne kire ya adwene wo ho yenkotie de ekoso ewo afenu mienu no omumienu nkomo ana omudi
to the house and by our standing orders is information I have to give you, and I've done so according to my understanding of the law. Please, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, I thank you for the opportunity to make comments on the communication you have just delivered to the House.
May you kindly refer to the standing orders that you are coming under.
Mr. Speaker, I do not come under any standing orders.
So you may resume your seat then.
Mr. Speaker, you are the father of this house. And Mr. Speaker, you have communicated to the House a position you've taken. It's been our practice that any time you have come out with a formal communication, you give opportunity to leadership to make a response. Mr. Speaker, if today you do not want me to talk, Mr. Speaker, that should be it. But Mr. Speaker, if you say that...
Honorable member, you got it wrong. It's not the practice of the House that any time I come with a formal communication, I allow members to make comments. That's not the practice of the House. It's never been the practice of any of the houses that I have been member from 1993 to date. I have not had that as any practice of the House. Some speakers, including myself, may entertain some comments from members, but it is not a practice of the House.
Mr. Speaker, if it pleases you, I would like to make some few comments on the matters you've raised. Because, Mr. Speaker, these are very grave matters. The matters you've raised are not light matters. They are very grave matters that I would want to comment. And, Mr. Speaker,
so please, you want to seek my leave to make comments?
That is so, respectfully.
Now you agree it's not the practice,
Mr.
but
Speaker,
you are just seeking my leave.
Mr. Speaker, as it pleases you, with your leave. With your leave.
Well, yes, you may do so.
Mr. Speaker, thank you once again for the leave granted me to comment on your communication you just delivered. Mr. Speaker, you underscored your submissions with a very important point, that the matter that came before us has interpretation reliefs, and that you do not have the power to interpret the Constitution, and that your duty is to enforce. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable member, you are not listening to me.
Mr. Speaker, may I finish with respect?
All what you said are wrong, so I cannot continue to allow you to keep on misleading the House.
Mr. Speaker, please, if you think that this is your house and you didn't want us to talk, so Mr. Speaker, we should allow you to
Honorable
speak.
Majority Leader, you are addressing the Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, you may. Please. I need your protection. They must stop what they are doing.
I am in charge.
Mr. Speaker, then they may be quiet.
Please.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, in your ruling, my understanding was to the effect that your duty is not to interpret the Constitution. My understanding was to the effect that your duty is not to interpret the Constitution. But, Mr. Speaker, it is important for me to emphasize one more time that when the statement was made by my respected colleague, Dr. Kyei-Duah, I did draw the attention of the House, including your good self, to the effect that the matter being a very grave matter, I have taken it upon myself to seek the court's interpretation of the matter. Mr. Speaker, indeed. Mr. Speaker, I think
Honorable
I deserve some respect.
Please,
Mr. Speaker,
let's listen
I think
to
I
each
deserve
other.
some respect.
Let's listen to each other.
No,
please.
I think it is only fair.
Honorable Majority Leader, please address me. I'm taking care of that. Please,
Mr.
let's
Speaker,
listen to each other.
I did indicate that I have filed a process at the Supreme Court. And indeed, Mr. Speaker, the bailiff of the court had attempted to serve the process on the Director of Legal Affairs, and the Director of Legal Affairs and the entire legal directorate refused service because, according to them, there was a circular stating that they can only be served on Mondays. I saw the circular myself. Subsequent to that, I explained, hearing the intention of Mr. Speaker to come to a determination in one way or the other, the directed service, which is within my rights. Mr. Speaker, yesterday, Parliament was duly served.
Honorable Member, please, I didn't want to interrupt you, but you are the Majority Leader and the leader of this House. As at the time you were directing service yourself, you took the trouble of coming to Parliament with two persons who are alleged to be bailiffs and went to the legal office to yourself, directing officials of the legal office to receive the service. You are a member of Parliament. I am the Speaker. It is my duty to protect your privileges and immunities. In doing so, I had a discussion with the Chief Justice, and we came to an understanding that in the meantime, the Chief Justice issued a directive as to how service of members of Parliament, some officers of Parliament, and the Speaker could be effected. I communicated this to the House and discussed it with you, the leaders. We said that as we go along, we will together, Parliament and the judiciary, particularly led by the Supreme Court, come out with a legislation on this issue of privileges and immunities of Parliament, members of Parliament, and specified officials of Parliament. We discussed this. Based on this discussion, the Chief Justice issued a directive to all registries of courts in the country. And it is stated clearly there that the Speaker can be served on Mondays during working hours. There were reasons why we came to those agreements. You are aware of it. Yet you kept on insisting that service be effected whilst the Speaker was presiding over the proceedings of the House. You, as leader of the House, as majority leader, you are saying that this was service because you threw the court processes on the table and walked away. Is that how you effect service? Please, to quote the common parlance, don't go there.
With respect, for the past 12 years, I have accorded you every respect, and I'll continue to do that. Mr. Speaker, the facts you put out are not true. Mr. Speaker, these are credibility issues, so I will respond for the record. Mr. Speaker, somebody has told you something. Mr. Speaker, you reserve the right to be there to make your point. Let me make my point too. Mr. Speaker, no way. Mr. Speaker, no way. Mr. Speaker, whoever told you, Mr. Speaker, whoever told you that I threw a paper at somebody, this has to do with my credibility. I will not allow hands.
Honorable member, you don't listen at all.
Mr. Speaker, I do.
I never said
Mr.
you.
Speaker, you said
I never said you threw a paper at anybody.
Mr. Speaker,
I never said that.
That's exactly what you said. Let the answer check it. Mr. Speaker, that is what you said.
You are being carried away by your anger. You are not listening.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not angry.
Honorable member. Honorable member.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not angry.
I said the court process was thrown on the table in the office. I never stated it was thrown by you at any person.
Mr. Speaker, you said I allegedly said some bailiffs. Alleged bailiffs.
No.
Mr. Speaker, then clarify. Mr. Speaker, with respect,
listen to me.
Mr. Speaker, I'm listening.
Honorable Majority Leader, I don't want to proceed to make some orders. Please, resume your seat. I'm very serious about that.
Mr. Speaker.
Please, resume your seat.
Enti afenyo wiye no ena ofre eye press so ombra ne emfa press ento abonti am yenye press release ento abonti nkofo hu ne o makotia opese wo kire ankasa enti press ne so de camera kototo so e de microphone kototo na no ena ono so de ne nsem opanyina eto abonti ene na nya asem ketwa abusia obetimi do comment abade asi uhu ne sem because mahamba kora ba abonten wo se asem aben babe kan ne chese madi nkunimdie because nkunimdie na eba ne ho pompon anase ho poproye ebi na asi e wo parliament ema eye John Dramani mahamba kora ko gina simpi so a wo di nkomo no wode bitudwa but se ya ye kasem sade no asa overturn yekoni kotie de course
vigorously pursue our matter in court. We believe in the court. And we are going to pursue our matter in court until the court determines the matter. If the court makes a determination that indeed, per the provisions of Article 97.3, if a person, upon being elected a member of parliament on a particular ticket and decides to contest future elections under another ticket, that person will lose that seat, so be it, would abide by the rulings of the court. So, we'll stay back and not want to participate in the chaos in the chamber created by Mr. Speaker. Meanwhile, we have become aware that the injunction application has been overtaken by event. We are lawyers. We know what to do. And we'll be fortified by the law to look for another process to ensure that the right things are done. So we'll argue our case in court. Meanwhile, we call upon the good people of Ghana to condemn the conduct of Mr. Speaker and then the NDC minority. And it was very rich. It was very rich to hear Dr. Forson immediately proclaiming to be a majority leader. In fact, Mr. Speaker himself, in spite of doing their bidding, fell short of declaring them to be the majority, in spite of all. And then he still found space to address me as majority leader and still address him as minority leader. But again, they further exposed themselves, because immediately after, their flag bearer was on a campaign platform claiming that God has given them the majority status. Is that how God grants majority status on individuals who are full of mischief, vicious, and evil? What they did was evil. What they did in Parliament yesterday was evil. NDC does not believe in democracy. They believe in chaos. And we are law-abiding citizens. We in the MPP are Democrats. We believe in the rule of law, and that is why we calmly left the chamber for them. And we know that if we make our case well in court, the court will make a determination that would advance the cause of democracy. Again, to our party foot soldiers, our parliamentary candidates, and all party members across the length and breadth of the country, these are useful lessons to learn. I urge on all of you that looking at the chaos in Parliament, we don't want skirt and blouse. We don't want situations where you say that somebody in NDC is your friend. At this moment, they have shown to us that if they get an opportunity again to have numbers in Parliament, there will be chaos. They want to frustrate government business as it is today. We have the judges, the Supreme Court judges who have been vetted and are supposed to be approved to work for the nation. They don't want that to happen. There are businessmen who have invested in our country because of our 1D1F policy. Their projects have to be approved. The NDC doesn't want that, so they want there to be chaos. The finance minister is supposed to present some papers to Parliament regarding budget before appropriation. This cannot happen. So they don't believe in democracy. They want chaos because they want an opportunity to come back to fest on us their incompetence. We know how they never believed in the free SHS policy. How they never believed in the free SHS policy. How they don't even have a single social intervention program standing in their name. These are the people who want to create chaos and use that as an opportunity to come back to power. I want to tell every single Ghanaian listening to me today that NDC has nothing new. In fact, upon launching their manifesto, it was clear that they had nothing new to offer. They claim a so-called 24-hour economy, but if you even ask them to explain, they get upset and angry. They can't even point to a particular thing they mean by 24-hour economy. I know that MPP hasn't been perfect, and MPP cannot be perfect. But I believe in the dreams and the vision of Dr. Bawumia. I believe in the new vision of digitalizing our economy to create opportunity for our Ghanaian youth. On every aspect of the economy, we have done far better than we came to meet it in 2017. I appeal to party members to go all out. Like I said in Takrady, enough of the infighting, enough of the meetings, foot soldiers, police station executives, party chairpersons, parliamentary candidates should go all out to give a resounding victory, overwhelming majority to the MPP to govern peacefully and prove to these guys who don't believe in the Ghana agenda that chaos is not the way to advance democracy. Thank you very much indeed, and God bless our homeland Ghana and make it great and strong.
Okay, thank you very much, yes, there will be Q&A, but you need to catch my attention. And then I'll direct you to still the majority leader. So show by hands if you are interested. I would have said that with this detailed and proper presentation, probably all the naughty observations, but okay, we'll see. Not according to any order. Let me start from you. We'll take 3 at a go. So you, and then Dean, as the first set. Please.
All right, thank you. My name is Kyei-Duah, so I work with In the light of all these developments, the lifespan of this parliament has not ended. You have your colleagues going independent, I think 2 of them. Is there an opportunity to really further engage, learning lessons from what is going on?
Thank you. Please.
Leader, you have a government business to run. Boycotting parliament means the items you mentioned will not see the light of day. How do you explain this to the Ghanaian people?
Let me answer the 2.
Because the wheels of justice cannot follow
the 2.
Process.
The last one for this session. Dean. I think your question dovetails into this.
My dean and my respected colleagues who have asked this question. First of all, let's put the issues in context. My members who are going independent, i.e. the MP for Suhum and the MP for Agona West, have not applied to me to say that they are no more part of the caucus. 2, the party has not taken any action to dismiss them from the party. Neither have they written to resign from the party. They have only expressed an intent to participate in the next elections as independent candidates. As it is today, as a matter of fact, their status as members of parliament on the ticket of MPP remain same. It hasn't changed. 2, the independent candidate who applied to caucus with MPP has not changed his stand. So nothing has changed in terms of how the composition of parliament is as of today. Indeed, I am in touch with Honorable Amwaku Esiama, and in fact, I'm happy to even announce to you that he is also filing a separate action as a result of the conduct of Mr. Speaker. So you will soon see an action filed by him, because what Mr. Speaker has done is to deny his constituents an opportunity to be heard. I don't want to go into the legal issues, but politically, what Mr. Speaker has done is wrong, and it doesn't help democracy. Let's leave it that way.
Okay, so, yes. That's Joy, right? Okay.
Joy FM, you people are known for a lot of mischief, and I would encourage you. No, I will say it. I will not pamper. No. So yes, so let me address Joy News. Joy News, your role as a media house is to help our democracy. Joy is becoming notorious. Joy FM is becoming notorious for misinforming and doing mischief. Yesterday they were quick to say that there is now a minority leader and a majority leader. I will not take any of that. I will say it, you can go and bash me, but I will assert my right. It's my bona fide. Your role as a media house is to play your role objectively and help the cause of democracy. City FM does it well, OK FM does it well, Peace FM does it well, GH1. There are other media houses. They express their opinions, but they do the right thing. You are quick, always, to mislead people, and it's not right. Joy FM, I'm saying it today. You can single me out and start your mischief to destroy my brand. I don't really care. The time has come for the country to tell Joy FM that do it right and do it perfectly. That is all the point I want to make to you. So ask your question.
No, leader,
don't do the bidding of NDC.
Leader, with respect, he's not speaking as an individual.
The things you've been doing to us is not fair.
We are joining forces with him, and we are telling you in your face.
Joy FM, why?
It's becoming unbecoming. You are even like, I would have denied you the right to ask a question. But
you can black us out. You can black us out, Joy FM. You can black us out. Enough is enough. This is a protest, a far right protest from me. Enough is enough, Joy FM. Enough is enough.
Your question, but you have to be snappy.
The majority leader, please. Say that correctly. Say that correctly. Can you address me properly? If you are not ready, I won't take your question and you can black me out. I'm saying address me properly.
No. You are ruled out.
Say it. Let's hear you again. Correct. Yeah.
You mentioned that you were going to take some action because we have already taken you filed have been overtaken by events.
That is so.
Particularly zoom into the specifics you've taken. But also, I want to ask you a question. If you look at Article 3.9 of your Constitution, it talks about forfeiture of membership. It says a member of the party who stands as an independent candidate against the officially elected member of the party or who declares support for another political party or an independent automatically forfeits his or her membership. That is the operative word of the Constitution. How do you marry that with the point that you have made that these persons still remain members of the party?
Very well. Very well. We will address that for you.
I told you to be snappy, but you decided to ignore me. So shall we listen to you?
Conversation surrounds Article 72, and then the processes that were filed at the Supreme Court are binding.
72?
97. Now, Speaker has always maintained
Constitution.
When it comes to the legislative powers of Parliament, until it terminates at a point, the APS
I'll respond.
does not have the authority to come in. Speaker has made this abundantly clear in this year. Of course, leader has on a number of occasions disagreed. Is that not the same principle based upon which Speaker then yesterday made a decision? So the time is now right for anybody who disagrees with that decision to then head to the Supreme Court for the courts to get it. That is just one aspect. The second aspect is this. Leader, you are a legal brain, a fine legal brain for that. Do you understand the principle behind Article 97 relative to ensuring that that Pandora's box is not open for any incumbent MP who loses to quickly run and stand as an independent candidate? Is that a guide, a protection for the parties in this regard? You see that?
All right, so
respect.
Okay,
just the last one for this session. I'm sure you've exhausted your questions. We don't have any hand up, right?
Okay. You make a good point. The reason why I'm in court, you see, throughout my practice, I've always held a view that where there is lacuna or where there are divergent opinions, we don't have to remain on the streets and continue the gallery talk. Let's go to the right forum. And it's a reason why we are at the Supreme Court for interpretation, so that this matter will be settled once and for all. You know my track record at the bar, so that will speak for itself. Back to my respected friend of Joy News, Kweku Asante. Kweku, every constitution, indeed, any written document, be it the Bible, Quran, any holy book, including our constitution, must be read as a whole. Yes. So the rule of automaticity does not really operate as a means to an end. Due process is always a preferred vehicle to achieve a means. That is why the old saying in law is that if all men find a man's hand in a tale, his guilt must be proven. I repeat, if all men find a man's hand in a tale, his guilt must be proven. Why that? To allow due process to take effect. So I don't expect you to say that, oh, MPP, you are caught by a particular provision in your constitution, so go by it. No. We are a political party operating with a constitution. So a person must also be heard. A person must be heard, no matter what. So don't let us get in there. But if Mr. Speaker had allowed the matters in issue to be properly determined, wouldn't be where we are. Because my question is, why the rush? In fact, what has become of the Harun Idrisu petition? He's rendered Harun Idrisu's petition odious. He's rendered it nugatory. It is like the Harun Idrisu application will lead to a due process being followed. So we don't want it. But when did we ever, you the media, you asking a question today, and I've not heard you on your platforms questioning Mr. Speaker on that route. When did a speaker ever allow a statement to metamorphose into a motion for him to rule on? Joy FM did not address this yesterday. When did a statement metamorphose into a motion for a ruling? Is it the case that there is no provision for what should be done when a statement is made? In any event, did what Atoforsin do meet the requirement of a statement under Order 93? Please, when you have your uncle who is also a former Attorney General, you will never be in want. Yes. And a senior member for that matter. You know, the MPP constitution that you quoted, though I answered it generally, but the specific provision under 3, rights of member. So though there's a clause that confers automaticity rights on the party, there is also another arm that confers due process, right of fair hearing on the member who is affected. So if you come here, right of a member shall have the right to participate in all activities of the party subject to rules and regulations. Be heard whenever his or her activities and conduct are in question and under consideration by the party. So if my member has decided to file as an independent candidate in the next election, and the party is not happy, the constitution, which you quoted, enjoins the party to hear the person, explain your activities. But that is not where we are. This is we, NPP, this is us. We have not written to Mr. Speaker. They said they were following precedents. Even if that is the precedents they want to follow, that precedence was triggered by a certain process. Has NDC written to Mr. Speaker? Has Fifi Kwete, as General Secretary of NDC, written to Mr. Speaker that indeed our member Kwache Aka has been sacked? Has MPP written, I as the majority leader and leader of government business and leader of the caucus, have I written to Mr. Speaker to say that this is a communication from the party? Of course not. Therefore, please proceed. So they have placed something on nothing. And that is why it is falling. It's crashing. There is nothing. There is nothing that supports their actions. And when you want to make your point, Mr. Speaker begins to threaten you. Yesterday, all of you saw the way he was threatening me. He became so apprehensive and called the marshal on us. I mean, I think it was most unfair that after Mr. Speaker has said all that he wanted to say, he now was pushing me by rules. That what rule am I up to respond and all. And that what do I want to say? Basically stopping me from speaking. He didn't want me to speak. And I yielded to him because that is his platform. If Parliament is all about speaker, he should take it. I repeat, if Parliament is all about speaker, and in any event, what Mr. Speaker forgot yesterday is that it took a fit columnist from us to make him a speaker, by the way. Often he forgets and does the bidding of NDC. If it's all the NDC members who voted for him, he wouldn't be speaker. But we leave that to posterity and his own good judgment.
No.